For today's video, we have 3 topics and 3 verses all in one video. So stay tuned, and if you enjoy it, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Disclaimer.
Content is rooted and oriented in truth, grace, and love.
Welcome, and what we have in store for you today are 3 verses. One being in the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verses 20 to 21. The second being in the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 19. And the third and final being in the book of Romans, chapter 3, verses 7 to 8. Also in store for today are 3 topics. One being the disturbance of seeing females in joy, me being in anger or control. The second being the renunciation of my opinion of the topic of persecution of followers of Christ in Nigeria. And the third being on the topic of meekness and boastfulness when it comes to personality traits. With that being said, I am Emmanuel Oquendo, a creation amongst creation that just happens to do things, yet wouldn't title himself by the things that he does. And welcome to Tabernacle of Truth, where our mission is to unite through the Hokadesh Ghost disciples who love the Father, Mother, and others, and also follow Alua commands. This happens to be the channel and dedication to Tabernacle of Truth, where content consists of frequent vlogs broadcasting frequently between the time of 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. frequently. Weekly Bible studies coming up every first of the week, broadcasting at 3 p.m. Every first of the week not being today's first of the week. And from time to time, a tag along to the journey of the project of the car bill. Thank you guys for joining me on this splendid day, with today's verse of the day being in the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verses 20 to 21, which reads, "Behold, I have received commandment to exalt, for he has exalted, and I cannot alter it. He sees none iniquity in Jacob, nor sees no transgression in Yazrael. The Adon his Alua is with him, and the joyful shout of the king is among them." To allow the Spirit to expound on today's verse of the day, first we will start at the context, which is a discussion between Balaam and the King Balak of Moab. Balaam explaining that he cannot curse Yazrael because Alua has commanded him to exalt them instead. The expoundation piece of it would be, I agree that the verse has its context, yet we can use this verse for greater examples, as in picture that being the conversation between those in the spiritual realm and our Creator. The Creator being Balaam, and then those in the spiritual realm being Balak. You'd think that to be a stretch. Then explain to me Job and the book of Job. In short, when under the Father's protection, you in no ways are close to harm, but to be under his protection, you must be under him, not over him. Yesterday's verse of the day, being November 15th, 2025, was in the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 19, which reads, "For it doesn't go into their heart, but into their stomach and then out of the body." To expound, if you were to ask, then why do we become defiled, harmed by things via food/medicine? When it just goes in and goes out. And reason being is we allow it into our hearts, emotions, well-being. What is meant to do, it does via food and the body, but we are the ones who make gods of it, or Elohims of it. what is called Thursday, being the 13th verse of the day, was in the book of Romans, chapter 3, verses 7 to 8, which reads, "But if through my lie, Elohim's truth abounds to his glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner? And why not do evil that good may come? As some people slanderously charge us with saying, their condemnation is just." Context being Paul's letters to the Romans, him speaking on behalf of him being not interrogated, but what's the word when you accused of basically lying, or accused of basically doing things that are evil to promote good things. Besides the context, besides the context, I have expounded in an unposted clip where I would either add here or re-expound it. The re-expoundation being a reminder and warning to those who make saints of sinners. Saints of sinners, for example, Constantine. Reason being, when thoroughly analyzed through prayer and studies, you realize that what he done was evil. Yet Allah is greater and good also came from it. That being said, let's highlight the good things to be our Allah, not an individual that unionized all believers under lies and distortion of the truth for a time, and for some still to this day. And that was all 3 verses of not the day, but throughout the 3 days, all included in the inclusion of today. So yes, that was today's 3 days. That was today's 3 verses of the day. Thank you. I will be back shortly on the 3 topics of the day. With that being said, peace and shalom. Okay. Salutations, saints and sinners all around yonder. Today is still November 17th, 2025. Time is currently, it's not the 17th, it's the 16th. Time is currently 7:38 p.m. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the previous clips. Right now we are about to speak on the 3 topics of the day. First being the disturbance of females basically liking me being in anger, things of the nature. And to expound on the topic a bit is really off of the topic of like marriage and what I'm looking for and things of the nature. And I'm not a person that enjoys being angry or upset or having to be in situations where I have to be like not controlling, but in demanding of respect or things of the nature. And I'm speaking on that as a topic because you could say during the past week a few situations happened. I'm not gonna express those situations because ultimately the past is the past. But to detail a bit, you could just say I've realized in a few of the, not prospects, but females in my friend group or who I know that seeming like they enjoy it with me, like, etc., etc. And it's like, they're not the reason why I'm like upset or in anger or having to like get loud with other people. But it's like, seems like they enjoy it, and I look at it as in like, not questionable, because it's like, you shouldn't enjoy it. You should enjoy the happy me and things of the nature. Because like, what if we conversating and you just got the feeling to want to start an argument because you want to see what I do, or you get what I'm saying, trying to test me. And it's like, why? Ultimately, it's kind of like testing our Creator kind of situation, as in putting yourself in situations to not test your faith, but test His power or things of the nature. So it's like, on my end, I wouldn't like that to be done to myself either. So that was the first topic of the day. Second topic of the day, we got to get to it. My renunciation of my opinion on the topic of the persecution of followers of Christ in Nigeria. And with that being said, upon further review, I will go to my notes. After further review, I must renounce my opinion on the persecution of individuals that follow Christ in Nigeria. My argument was solely in reply to it having something to do with Christ's return. Also, is not 100% religious based due to the original reason for the influx of Islamic groups is because of the state of the land where they came from. Basically, there's secular reason to it more than religious. And then you could tell by the fact that they're killing not all, but majority that aren't them. Like, they aren't in favor of, like, I've been hearing in some of the research and seeing in some of the research that it might be cases where it's a little bit more lenient on the Muslims, but besides that, there are still individuals that are Muslim that are being killed. And then, interestingly enough, I end up finding out that there is persecution in China, I believe, against, I forgot the people group. And the way the guy was expressing it was like how the media isn't speaking about things in the nature. And yeah, I didn't know about it. I would have to, I'm gonna add it to the screen so I can show you guys what I'm speaking of. With that being said, when I say about the opinion being solely based on the reply to it having something to do with Christ's return, as I was saying previously, it bothers me, not to a point of anger and distress. It's just more of an ick thing, hearing individuals just constantly pushing up a return. And like what that does, if people haven't seen, is be sarcastic of His return, or as in like joking of it happening, because that was the second topic. Third topic being, one moment, personality and meekness versus boastfulness, via a conversation had with a brother in existence the previous day or two. And ultimately, I'm glad for the conversation, because the Spirit was able to help me see it through on His end of the deal, what He was meaning to say. Like, even though originally I took the input as in questionable, I understood where He was coming from. The Spirit helped me understand where He was coming from. And with that being said, I will implement some of the things that He made mention of. The only thing that, and the reason why this topic is being brought up, is because he was making mention of, like, ultimately we are not ourselves when we do things of the nature. And it's like, ultimately, like, the way he was implementing it sounded beautiful, but when you really look at it, a part of it was like, questionable, as he made mention that Alua basically changes for different people, and that's to a degree. Like, in my example, I do, depending on who I'm talking to, not switch up whatever topic I'm speaking of, but I speak accordingly. But at the same time, I don't change the truth, or I don't change how I express myself. Because that was the whole thing. It's like, at the end of the day, this is how I am. This is who the Creator made me to be. I'm nonchalant, not flamboyant. I'm trying to think of another, etc., etc. But I'm just not too, and there's nothing wrong with not being too outgoing, and there's nothing wrong with being outgoing. So with that being said, it's like I will try to express myself in a more like physical fashion, because besides that, verbally, I'm not like dead. I mean, if anything, there is some life in my expressions and things of nature. And that's what was like being judged against me. It's like in my videos, I show no life, except like my tone is the same the whole video. And it's like after analyzing and watching a video or two, I'm like, I'm not seeing the same exact things, but ultimately I can do more. So with that being said, you'll get more like physical movement like right now. And I hope you guys can be able to hear me pretty great. I don't have the mic on. If anything, this is echoing, so we'll be straight. But with that being said, right now I've got the camera on the mount, and I'm trying to have it that I'm able to like move around a little bit more, so you guys can see I'm alive, I guess. And I'm not trying to speak about the topic in a demeaning or derogatory manner. So I repent if that is the case, or if that's what you guys are seeing. And that was the third topic of the day. With that being said, I'm not sure when this video will be posted. It will either be posted dropping tonight, which I doubt it. If anything, I'll post it Monday afternoon. I'll just drop a briefing, not a briefing in the beginning, because I would like to keep, and please guys, let me know your guys' opinions on the first 10 seconds of the video. If it, I guess the way they word it, did it pull you in to continue watching? And from there, yeah, drop a comment, drop a salutations, drop a thumbs up if you agree, and thumbs down if you disagreeing. With that being said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I get off at 11 p.m. Sayonara, saints and sinners all around yonder. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications to be alerted on the frequent vlogs. Peace and shalom. Alright, so salutations, saints and sinners all around yonder. This is a closing clip of what you've seen previously, and this will be added at the end. I'm just briefing on the fact of I was supposed to post it yesterday, but editing had to be done. I hope you guys enjoy the time taken to edit, and as I've said previously, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. With that being said, for the most part, nothing new. Sayonara, saints and sinners all around yonder. Peace and shalom.